大年一过，街上关门的店。
After the new year, more stores on the street are closing. Last year, when I was running deliveries through Meituan, there weren't as many closures, but this year, it's clearly worse. The notices on the doors are all new, which means they closed during the holiday season.
倒闭了，倒闭了，全都倒闭了。
They've all shut down. If you want to get into the restaurant business this year, I advise you to wait. It's hard to imagine, but the scenes in the video are from a Wanda mall in the provincial capital city. I once saw a comment that said new restaurant owners should set aside 3,500 yuan for delivery expenses. Why? Because you'll need to buy an electric bike. The reason for this is clear. Most locations have ridiculously high rent, and the foot traffic doesn't match the cost. Take Wanda Mall as an example. Outside of weekends, the only people you'll see around are delivery drivers. But is delivery easy? Platform fees range from 20 to 50%, sometimes even more. And to get good recommendations, you still have to buy traffic. The cost of acquiring a customer to buy traffic is 3 to 5 yuan per order. So you might think others are making money, but when you try it yourself, you find there's no profit at all. Here's a harsh truth. Meituan reported making 150 million yuan a day. In recent years, a fierce price war has hit many industries in China. The restaurant business has suffered the most. In the past, owners worked hard and earned good profits. This year, they work just as hard but see no return. A couple in Sichuan ran a takeaway shop that drew a lot of attention in early 2026. The total income for the year reached 2.2 million yuan, yet profit came to zero. After adding up every cost, the owner said, "In 2025, I earned 0 yuan." The expenses broke down as follows: 680,000 yuan on ingredients, 320,000 yuan on labor, 40,000 yuan on rent, 60,000 yuan on utilities, about 510,000 yuan on platform commissions, and 510,000 yuan on delivery fees plus marketing. The next example comes from Beijing. A restaurant recorded annual sales of 1.8 million yuan. After platform commissions, it kept about 1.6 million yuan. The cost included 415,000 yuan for rent, nearly 15,000 yuan for property fees, 150,000 yuan for utilities, 85,000 yuan for employee housing, 450,000 yuan for wages, 744,000 yuan for stock, and 40,000 yuan for other small expenses. In the end, the business lost 26,500 yuan. One person commented, "Before, we bragged about how much we made. Now we compete to see who loses the least." The third case happened in Nanjing. A seafood restaurant invested 1.9 million yuan. In November, it brought in 360,000 yuan in revenue. After actual payments came to 350,000 yuan, the expenses were 150,000 yuan for ingredients, 6,000 yuan for consumables, 37,000 yuan for rent and property fees, 22,000 yuan for utilities, 130,000 yuan for wages, 22,000 yuan for taxes, and 6,000 yuan for platform promotion. When all costs were paid, the restaurant recorded a net loss of 12,000 yuan. More restaurant owners have shared similar stories on WeChat Moments. A restaurant in Zhejiang recorded a turnover of 280,000 yuan in December, yet its net profit came to only 3,000 yuan. A small family-run store in Zhenzhou earned a total annual revenue of 325,000 yuan. After all expenses, the owners were left with nothing. A store in Wuhan brought in 1.2 million yuan during October. Its net profit, however, stood at just 31,000 yuan. That gave a profit margin of less than 2.7%. These figures have prompted many to express agreement and disappointment. Some owners have even calculated the alternative. They say it would be better to place that 1 to 2 million yuan in the bank. Then they could earn more from fixed-term interest without a full year of worry. So, where did all the money go after a year of hard work? First, costs have risen sharply. Labor remains a fixed expense that cannot be cut. Salaries for chefs, managers, and waiters continue to rise. Social Security contributions grow each year. Ingredient prices and rent also increase steadily. Second, platform fees take a large share. Restaurants now depend heavily on these platforms. The reliance brings more orders, yet it cuts deeply into profits. For example, in the Sichuan takeaway shop case, 510,000 yuan out of 2.2 million yuan in revenue went to platform commissions. Another 520,000 yuan covered delivery and marketing costs. As a result, nearly half of their online revenue vanished before it reached the business. Platform reductions remain a heavy load for almost every takeaway operation. Third, the restaurant industry has turned into an all-out battle for customers. In the past, competition focused on taste. Later, it shifted to the dining environment. Now, businesses compete on marketing, traffic, supply chains, and steep discounts. Some takeaway shop owners say they cannot hold on much longer. They're preparing to close their doors. One person suggested an alternative: stop using delivery platforms and hire their own delivery staff instead. The current crisis in the restaurant industry extends beyond takeaway shops. Even traditional, well-established restaurant brands now face serious challenges to survive. In early February, 10 stores of Shiao Nang in Shanghai closed suddenly without any warning. Both the headquarters and the store stood empty. This happened just before Lunar New Year, normally the busiest season for restaurants. Many families had already booked New Year's Eve and reunion dinners. The abrupt closures disrupted a great number of holiday plans. What hurts even more is the situation for consumers. People who had prepaid for New Year's Eve dinners or loaded money onto store-valued cards now face serious troubles. They cannot get their refunds. The Shiao Nang case has shocked the entire restaurant industry. On social media, many consumers have shared their stories. One person bought 8,000 yuan worth of prepaid cards for Shiao Nang in Shanghai. Now they cannot reach the store that issued the card. There is no way to obtain a refund. Before the closures, signs of trouble had already appeared at Shiao Nang in Shanghai. Public reviews show the problems clearly. According to one review, on January 30th, a customer at the Shanghai Northbund Shiao Nang store wrote the following. After they served cold dishes, the restaurant manager explained that the owner had not paid wages for 2 months. The chefs had gone on strike. As a result, the restaurant could not serve the remaining hot dishes. Chinese media reports state that employees at Shiao Nang were owed several months of wages. The total amount exceeded 20 million yuan. Many suppliers also had outstanding unpaid bills. Shiao Nang a well-known restaurant brand in Shanghai, was founded in 1987. It stood as a symbol of Shanghai cuisine. The brand earned praise for its refined dishes, excellent service, and prices higher than average. It became a favorite spot for business dinners and family gatherings alike. In 2012, Shiao Nang listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. At one point, it ran several brands. These included Shiao Nang Nan Xiaoguan, and Hui Gongguang. The company operated stores in more than 10 cities. The year 2015 marked the peak of Shiao Nang success. It had 139 stores in operation. The group offered more than 10 brands with different cuisines. These range from classic Shanghai dishes to Japanese Western fusion. Since 2017, however, the brand has closed stores steadily. Financial reports reveal the struggles clearly. In 2024, Shiao Nang recorded a loss of over 85 million yuan. In the first half of 2025, it reported a loss of 18.2 million yuan. Industry analysts point to rising competition in the restaurant sector. Consumer demand has shifted. People now seek healthier ingredients, better value for money, and experiences that appeal to younger customers. Shiao Nang emphasis on large banquets and business dinners no longer matches what the market wants. The day Shiao Nang troubles became public, its stock price fell sharply. On February 9th, the share price dropped by as much as 8.3%. It closed the day down 2.8% at 0.035 Hong Kong dollars per share. The closure of Shiao Nang along with other traditional brands, marks the end of an era. Large restaurants and business-focused models once led the market. The time has now passed. Shiao Nang is not the only one facing hardship. Over the past year, many restaurants and banquet halls built around large gatherings and business events have struggled to stay afloat financially. Take Shenfeng Grand Hotel as an example. It was founded in 1992 in Hangzhou. The chain expanded to Shanghai in 1999. It earned a strong following with affordable meals in a comfortable setting. People often choose it for group dining. At its height, Shenfeng operated more than 30 locations in Shanghai. In the past year, however, Shenfeng Grand Hotel has closed 6 of its stores. Some locations put up notices. These stated they could not pay rent or utilities. The reason was outstanding debts. Shopping malls had made repeated requests to settle the amounts owed. Today, Shenfeng Grand Hotel runs about 10 locations in Shanghai. On January 31st, the century-old brand Shu Xianluo from Nanjing, Jiangxi, announced the closure of 7 stores. This followed news that the company owed employees several million yuan in unpaid wages. Customers who had prepaid meals found they could not get refunds. The process of securing compensation has proven difficult for these customers. Founded in 1923, Su Xianluo ranked among the 8 major restaurants in Nanjing. It gained fame from its authentic Jiangxi cuisine. The closure of such long-standing brands has affected both employees and customers. It has also damaged the reputation of the entire industry. Looking back at 2025, the list of restaurants closing or downsizing keeps growing. This includes the 70-year-old Jiajin restaurant in Shanghai, the Cantonese restaurant Taoran, Hong Kong's Fu Lin Palace, Daoxiang restaurant, and several others in major cities. Many well-established restaurants have not survived the challenges. Industry experts point to high operating costs as a main reason for these closures. With only a few customers each day, it becomes hard to cover expenses. The current market has made it tough for many restaurants to keep operating. In response to the economic downturn and reduced consumer spending, demand for business banquets and high-end gatherings has fallen. This has led to fewer large, high-ticket purchases. Those purchases once supported mid to high-end restaurants. According to industry data, the restaurant industry's closure rate reached 61% in 2025. From first-tier cities to small towns, restaurant signs change constantly.
我去都快过年了，连的3家都倒了。
My goodness, it's almost New Year's, and 3 stores have already closed, including the barbecue place across the street. In the past, even if a store's business wasn't doing well, at least they could make it through the new year. You'd think, once the busy holiday season comes, we'll make some money and recover some losses. But now, none of them made it to the Lunar New Year. As I walk along, I see 2 more stores close across the street. This entire block, both sides, has so many closures. Is it the same where you are?
啥情况了？这一条街的饭店。
What's going on here? All the restaurants on this street are closing down. From once being brightly lit, it's now dark and abandoned. Hi, I'm in Shanxi's Shuzhou today, on the street called Shichuan, which is also where our big barbecue restaurant used to be. Let me take you on a quick tour and show you the current state of the restaurant industry. Walking down the street, 4 restaurants are here. 2 of them have closed. One of them, Yun A Duo, is a chain restaurant that used to do well, but they just couldn't make it in today's market. The place is up for lease now. Over here, we have Si Shi Crayfish, another chain. I saw several baskets of lobsters for sale during the summer, but now, with the winter holidays here, they're also up for lease.
这一条街的饭店全倒闭了。
There's another restaurant I remember from summer that sold snacks, but even the snacks couldn't make it, and now they posted a sign about leasing out the space. Over here, a beef soup shop has also shut down and turned into a Shihai motel. The lamb soup place ahead is now a 5 yuan noodle shop. 3 noodle shops ahead have all closed. Looking around, I estimate the restaurant closure rate here has reached over 70%. According to Chinese business information platform Chi-Cha-Cha, over 3 million restaurants closed in 2025. That works out to more than 8,800 restaurants shutting down every day. The closure rate exceeded 49%. Nearly half of all restaurant businesses did not make it through the year. Further data from Zaimen Kanyan shows a clear slowdown among once successful expansion brands. In the past year, fast food chains lost 113,494 stores. Milk tea shops dropped by 31,711 locations. Hot pot restaurants saw a reduction of 41,623 outlets. Even major categories such as Sichuan, Henan, and Cantonese cuisine recorded declines in store numbers. The restaurant industry's challenges persist. In recent years, fierce competition has caused a sharp drop in customer traffic and profits for many once popular restaurants. Complaints now fill the industry.
700多块，这是今天的营业额。
Today's earnings were just over 700 yuan. It's hard to imagine, let alone believe. We made so little today, but our costs are over 10,000 yuan. We ended up losing 10,000 yuan today. How many businesses can handle these kinds of losses? I can't keep going like this. If the store doesn't last, the ones I feel most sorry for are the employees.
在珠江新城开了14年的海鲜大排档。
A seafood restaurant that's been around for 14 years in Zhujiang New Town is finally closing. We just can't hold on anymore. Business has gotten worse every year, and our current performance is even worse than during the pandemic. So many of my friends have closed their businesses. I've lasted this long, so I guess I'm doing better than most. But now we can only press pause. It's really helpless.
Many restaurant owners are expressing frustration, saying in group chats, business is worse than ever this year. Even during peak hours, there are hardly any customers, and shopping mall foot traffic has sharply dropped. What can we do? One restaurant owner with 10 years of experience believes the Chinese restaurant industry is facing a systemic crisis.
为什么现在的餐饮老板觉得餐饮生意真的好难呢？
Why do restaurant owners today feel like the restaurant business is so difficult? Because they just can't make money. They've been losing money for a long time, and many restaurant owners have started borrowing money to pay their employees. When you look around, you'll see that 9 out of 10 restaurants are losing money. 8 of those are already in debt. Before, restaurant owners got into the business to make money, but now most owners who got into it were already fairly well off. After starting a restaurant, they ended up in debt overnight. Do you know who's running restaurants now? People who used to work in finance, the internet, and real estate. Because their industries weren't doing well, they thought the restaurant business was easy. So they all jumped in, investing hundreds of thousands or even millions. They thought they could make several thousand a day, but in reality, they're only making a few hundred. They've invested all this money in traffic, marketing, and influencers. But once the promotion stopped, business drops to zero. After visiting 3 or 4 cities each month and meeting with over 200 restaurant owners last year, I've seen the rise and fall of so many restaurants. In short, the industry has entered a phase of stagnant competition. Intense price wars have reduced profit margins, and the sector is shifting from high profits to low profits or even no profits in the long term.